Hello, happiest of days, TTV folks. I hope you guys are having an absolutely amazing day today. So today we're taking a look at the poem by H.P. Lovecraft. It's called The Conscript. It was published first in 1977, well posthumously, in a Winter Wish combination of collection and that sort of thing. For you folks, I read it a couple of days ago for you. I'm recording this on Wednesday, but I had to do some stuff, and I wasn't able to do this on yesterday. So I was doing a bunch of interviews and that sort of thing too. But basically, the idea here is that H.P. Lovecraft, if you recall, was my favorite. It was and is my favorite author, and that sort of thing too. My first favorite author was J.R. Tolkien after I read The Lord of the Rings in elementary school, and The Hobbit too. It was the first adult novel, and then I read R.A. Salvatore a few years later when I turned to reading tons of fantasy stuff, and then Anne McCaffrey, Fred Saberhagen, all the Dragonlance stuff too, which was being published when I was born in '76, and so I was reading that stuff. Joe Devers, Lone Wolf stuff, loved it lots. And so then Rory Salvatore was for a few years in junior high, and then when I started to read Michael Moorcock in high school as a junior, a few years later, he became my favorite author. He sort of matured me as a reader. He definitely has better ideas, more mature ideas, and that sort of thing too. He matured me as a reader and that sort of thing too. And then I actually, when I was in junior, about 5 years later, in college, I actually read a collection of 3 things by Lovecraft, and one of this the mythos stuff, one was fantasy dreamland stuff, and another of just some early horror stuff in sort of the Poe-esque veins, and that sort of the thing too. And so he became my favorite author, and then other people sort of stepped in there, but actually he's probably not my favorite one now today. And that sort of thing too. And so as a part of that deep dive and that volume collection, I read all of his solar stuff. And then as a 2-volume novel size, I actually read all of his co-writes, or his edits, or ones where he's ghostwriting, that sort of thing too. That sort of thing too. So I actually have read everything that he written that was prose, but I actually didn't read it, and it was poetry. I'm not really a big poetry. I didn't study poetry. I don't read poetry that often unless I have to for class. Right? Like when I had Fears Not Might Cease to Be, or Elegy Written in the Country Churchyard, something like that for class. But otherwise, I typically don't read poetry for fun. Right, and that sort of a thing too. But I thought it would be fun for me to knock out some poetry that I haven't read or reviewed for this show. And that sort of thing too, because I've probably reviewed like so many of those things. So this is The Conscript again. It's pretty short, and it's published posthumously in the 70s, not even when he died in the 30s, or a couple of decades, couple years later. But it's like generations later, and that sort of a thing too. But basically, what's happening with the Conscript? Some of the lines that repeat here at the end of each stanza, and they start off with, and they seem to really grow over time. I think this might have been written in World War I or World War II. I'm sorry, World War I, he was alive, and that sort of thing too, because it feels like it has some of that sort of a dire thing. It doesn't have a lot of horror elements. Like some of the other things that he's known for, or even fantasy, like his Dreamlands, or sci-fi, like his cosmic horror side, or things like Colorado Space, or something like that, right? It's a total thing. Love it lots. Love him lots, rather. This poem it doesn't really have any major things that are happening, no major development. It has some great vision to it, but I wouldn't say it's his best poem, his best work, none of that stuff, right? So I'm thinking between a 6 and a 7. So I'll average it to a 6.5. It's fine, and it'll be super fast. I mean, it won't even take you like 5 minutes for your read. But so I do like it in that sense. But I wouldn't go to the mattress with it. I wouldn't say it's at the level of some of the other poems I've gone back and read, like Fungi from Yugoth or anything like that, right? It's fine though. 6.5, The Conscript by H.P. Lovecraft. And so have you read this? And if so, what did you think about it? I'd love to sort of engage you with it further in the comments below, whatever your thoughts are. And like I said before, I'm not a poetry critic. I'm not even a regular literature critic. I didn't study English or literature. In college, I just wrote for fun. So I'm a fan just like yours is. So I'm not coming from a place of expertise, right? So your opinion really is as important as mine is. We're all fans here of Lovecraft or other stuff. People are other poems. That's what we're doing. So check them out. For you folks all up and down the block. Alrighty, and then, so I hope you enjoyed that. Like I mentioned before, I do other reviews of this stuff too. I do 3 reviews a week of older things that you read. In this case, like the science fiction, fantasy, and horror genres that I mentioned that he covers too. Those and older things. Typically, sometimes I might do something new here and there, but that's what happens. Also, on Wednesday, I do older video game reviews. I've done the Fallout series, Baldur's Gate, that sort of a thing too, so you can check it out too. On Saturday, I do reviews of older things from this era, actually, when he would have been writing, or when he died, that sort of a thing too. It's definitely a big game. Movie serials, or sometimes TV serials too, like your first 2 seasons of Doctor Who. But I've just done Dick Tracy, I've done Zora, Tarzan, I've done a silent era, Tarzan from 29. So you can check this stuff out. And then also, and then on Monday I do tabletop reviews of RPGs, or like Dungeons and Dragons, Middle Earth role playing, or Battletech war games, and that sort of thing too. And then the other 3 I think mentioning right. So those 3 things, I'm sorry, 7 reviews a week sound like your cup of tea. Well, then great. Welcome to the channel and have a seat. I think you'll enjoy your time here quite a bit, right? And while you're here, just having a relaxing thing, why not do all the YouTube stuff, please? Like hit the like button, the subscribe button, the share button too. Hit the ring bell icon to be notified of the 7 videos a week, right? And that sort of a thing too. As you can tell from all those 7 older reviews, it's the passion of this channel. It's even where its name comes from. The worst thing about new books. It's a quote by a French philosopher named Jean Joubert, who said that the worst thing about them was that they kept us from reading the old stuff, right? And there's definitely smaller stuff we might have forgot about. And H.P. Lovecraft heavily influential in today's stuff, right? And he's a giant that many things are standing today, right? But we sometimes have forgotten those things in the passion for the new stuff, right? So, not that the new stuff's bad, it's not. But, check out those older stuff, too. It's great. All right, so there you are. I want to thank you so very, very much for just taking some time out of your day and investing it, right? And watching my video. Because we all have so many things that are happening in our lives, too. And we're pulled in so many different directions, too, right? So the fact that you spent this time with me, that's incredibly humbling. And I appreciate that so very, very much. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.